too.
From a little cover, I got my dreams inside. Wrestling on the mat, I go and put up a fight. With every hold and slam, I rise to the peak. Now as Professor Bear, it's my strength that they see. Roaring with knowledge like a lion so proud. In this wrestling world, I'm standing out loud. I'm Professor Bear, got the passion to spare. Wrestling's my life, with the power to share. From the roof to ropes, in the spotlight we gleam. Chasing victory dreams, living out the theme. Now my WOSN, my squad.
Yeah. Hey, new beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup. Something dirty in my cup. Clean soul.
With my forest crew, we'll always ride. In the wrestling world, one just claim the prize.
Welcome, and thank you for joining me this afternoon. I am Professor Bear, and this is the Bear's Thought. And guys, girls, this has just been an amazing journey for me personally, getting to talk to so many different promoters and finding out a little bit of the inside. As big of a wrestling fan as I am, is definitely no better way to learn than to get to talk to people who actually do this on a daily basis, give us some more insights. And for me, this has definitely, as crazy as it's going to sound, increased my love for the business, because I have more respect just learning about what these guys and girls do for us to help us forget about our issues and just to have fun. So today I am very blessed to have a gentleman on that he and I'm not going to even spoil the surprise. I'm going to let him tell it. Him and his partner have started Super Strong Pro Heavyweight Wrestling, and they're out of New Jersey. And I have with me today is one of the co-owners is Eric. Eric, how are you doing today, sir?
Professor Bear, thank you so much for having me, my friend. I'm well. I'm enjoying this lovely tropical beach weather here in New Jersey. It's fantastic. My I don't know if I could say this, but my balls are currently hibernating in my ass. It's just terrible. As a bear, I understand you would appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I definitely do. So two things. One, I have to, if you don't mind,
Sure.
introduce that lovely young lady that you have with you.
Hi. Say hi. This is the real boss behind Super Strong Pro. This is Giselle Stevens. She's just chilling right now. It's my girl. She's hanging out.
Hey, I understand. Look, this is always a bad time for a bear to be trying to do stuff in the winter, but you know.
Hey, dude, you know what? as I don't know if you have kids, but as parents, there is no right time. Never. There is never a slow period, but that's cool. You know, it's they keep us on our toes, and they're great. I love them.
Yes, and I have got rid of mine, and so I can take a nap anytime I want to. So
You
it's
toss their
even
furry
better.
asses out of the cave.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
understand.
Now, if you would,
Sure.
go ahead and tell my listeners who your partner is in this promotion.
So and I'll be honest, we'll get to that too. I know we were talking about it briefly earlier, but in my short stint as a wrestling promoter / ring announcer, I've met many, many awesome people. But the top of my list, I would have to say, is my current business partner. He is a absolute wrestling legend. He was a junior Olympic champion at 12 years old in weightlifting. He has run several promotions all across the country. He's been all over the world. Some may know him most from his stint in ECW. As far as I'm concerned, one of the landscapers of the hardcore scene, and that is Iron Man Tommy Cairo. So
immediately, I can just picture people that were listening, and I get it. Sometimes you listen and you do something else, but I can just already imagine when you say ECW, the ears perked up.
Oh yeah,
they switch quickly. Like,
yeah. You just automatically hear simultaneously like hundreds of buttholes puckering, and they're like, "Oh my god, ECW!" Like, because realistically, when people think wrestling, they will always forever remember the hardcore revolution that was ECW. I mean, it shaped not just Tommy, but like all those guys and girls shaped the landscape of wrestling forever. I mean, it changed the game. That's what got me into wrestling. It just incredible. Awesome. ECW, yeah. Always.
Definitely. So, as I always like to start off with this question to all my guests, how did you become a wrestling fan?
Very simply, the first generation ring announcer, Barry Stevens. That would be my father. I remember growing up, he was always a huge wrestling fan. He watched everything. He was a huge fan. He loved the old school wrestling. He was his favorite of all time was Bruno Sammartino. And he had Bruno at his store openings, and he knew Bruno, and he, had his phone number. He always used to say, he's like, I have Bruno Sammartino's phone number. He loved wrestling. And then when he started ring announcing, he worked for Pretty Boy Larry Sharp and the Monster Factory. And then from there, it just kind of spawned something completely different. It went from just watching it on TV to physically being there. And you saw his love grow. And then my love grew. I mean, I will never forget the first time I saw somebody get put through a table. I was like, holy shit. I'm 6 years old, sitting in the third row in this little armory in Williamstown, New Jersey. And it was Sabu versus the Pegasus Kid, Chris Benoit. And my dad ring announced that match. And it was awesome, dude. It was friggin' fantastic. And I'm sitting there third row, and Sabu set the table up like he always did with the guardrail in the ring. Benoit up on there, brought out the chair. I'm like, and at that point, I had no idea what was going on. I had never seen Sabu before. And then he did the somersault leg drop over the friggin' rope. I was like, holy shit. Well, obviously not holy shit because I'm 5, but but I was just jaw on the floor. And from there, it was just amazing. I would go to all the events that he ring announced. I met so many amazing workers that have, you know, were little names back then. Some of them were still big names, but you know, just it was incredible. It was incredible. It was an awesome experience, and I'm forever grateful for my dad for, you know, introducing me to that world.
That is amazing. I had a similar uh, back background. My father was a big wrestling fan,
Mm-hmm.
and he will always take me, my brothers and sisters to the wrestling show,
Mm.
and it was just amazing. Like you said, it was like wow. And for us, we lived in and I still currently do live in Knoxville, Tennessee, and then we had Georgia Championship
Yep.
Wrestling.
Yep.
And that 605, everybody in the neighborhood already knew. Either you, if you wanted to hang out with my brothers and sisters and me, you either came before or you waited late that afternoon to catch us. Nobody came by the house. They knew better. It was just a thing. And it's one of those things too that makes you like appreciate it more when you know your father loves that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it's cool because you had this something similar to me. Like you knew when that time came around, it was like game time for you.
Yes.
So when we knew obviously well in advance when he had events coming up, and then we would have I had a couple like really good friends, and they were just, oh hey, can we want to go, 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 we want to go. But you know, people knew when it was. It's like church, man.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So, when did you make the transition from just being a fan to getting into the wrestling business?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I'm still a fan. I mean, I guess some would call it a mark. I guess I'm still a fan. I'm still a fan of the old school. I'll be honest. I have never really been into the newer incarnation of a lot of the stuff going on right now. I tried watching several different pay-per-views, and I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm watching. But I guess from the norm to in the wrestling business, I guess. My father passed away a few years ago, and I sell comics and toys, and I was working at a convention, and I had met a gentleman there, and he was an older ECW icon as well, and we became friendly. I started working for his promotion right around 3 years ago, I want to say. It's been about 3 years. So
Okay. So again, me and you have so many similarities. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I like that.
I'm a big comic book fan.
Yes.
Big toy guy, video games.
Mm-hmm. Let's go. Nerd status, baby.
Man, I used to work at Toys R Us.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous. I'm jealous of. I'll be real.
Man, when you're talking about collecting figures and getting your hands on before most people, yeah, I had it like that for a while.
Yeah, it's you know, you as a fan, you would definitely appreciate, like, because I know that when something dropped, you were probably like, let's go. I got to go get this. It's coming out at midnight. I got to be there. You remember the video game drops. You remember all the Star Wars figure releases when episode 1 came out.
Oh,
you remember, I'm sure you did. If you worked at Toys R Us, then I know my friend, my boy, Justin, he had his time set to that. He's like, yo, this thing comes out in like 3 weeks. He was counting this shit down. And then I stayed over his house the night that it came out like an asshole. And then him and his dad just disappeared for several hours. and then came back with a minivan filled with shit. Just they bought multiple of everything. He was like, I'm talking the biggest Star Wars mark ever. Like 3 different like Millennium Falcons. But the point I was trying to get to is the kids today will never know that struggle. Like I watched these videos online about these Pokemon card releases, which I started doing with my daughter. But it was fun when we used to do it back in the day. Like you and I would have became friends. We would have talked about it. Man. Now you got to worry about some asshole going out and grabbing a gun out of his car because he's not going to get the figure he wants.
Right. It is amazing. It's crazy.
It really is. It's crazy. Collectors are nuts. Nuts.
I'm gonna go down this little rant real quick.
Do it.
Being working at Toys R Us, I never thought I would have to threaten so many grown adults.
Grown ass adults.
Like, dude, do you realize this is a fucking toy? Do you? Calm down.
Yes.
You are not about to try to knock this kid over.
Bro, I can't even imagine. I can't even.
I remember specifically. Of course, the day after Thanksgiving, crazy, and of course, people lining up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm already tired, not really wanting to be there, so I'm getting silly, just doing silly stuff. Like I'm singing, the crowd's laughing and stuff.
Where a kid can be a kid, baby. Let's go. Who cares?
So then this guy want to skip line, and everybody's seeing him do it. And I'm like, dog, come on, man, just go on back to it. Ain't worth that. And he want to get hyped and just kept talking. I'm like, dude, I'm begging you, don't make me put my hands on you because I'm already upset.
Don't make me kill you for this Barbie.
Yeah, I'm already upset being here early in the morning away from my family to deal with assholes like you.
Yep.
He finally left, and when he left, the crowd started clapping their hands at me.
Retail's fun, isn't it?
Man, it is crazy.
It's
crazy.
Nuts. See, I applaud you for stuff like that. Like I've only really sold phones. I sell toys and stuff, but I sell it in a more like a more laid back,
right,
environment. I can't even imagine doing Toys R Us. I remember taking my daughter to, I think it was like a Target or something for a Monster High release. And she wanted, I think it was right around the time Wednesday came out on Netflix, like the first season. Oh, okay. And they came out with like a special edition doll, and she really wanted that. So we went to the Target, and we go to the section, and we're looking, and there's no dolls. And then we're walking around, and I see this guy come around the corner, and I shit you not, dude, had a cart filled with like 30 of them. I'm like, okay, dude, I don't hate the game. I get it. Your reseller's going to resell. I get it. Right. So I walk over to the guy and I'm like, bro, hey, listen, no hate on the hustle. I'm here with my daughter. Can I just grab one? I don't need multiple. I'm not trying to resell a bunch. Can I just grab one? He goes, yeah, you can come see me in the parking lot when I pay for all of them, but there's going to be an upcharge. Dude, that like the confusing like dog head tilt thing? Yeah. I did like one of those, and I leaned in real close. I'm like, I will kill you in one of these aisles. I'm like, so he looked at me like real weird, and I just grabbed one out of his cart and left. And he's like, hey, I'm like, dude, put your hands on me. Please, grab this doll from me. Try. You're going to have to kill me. Like, I don't care, dude. I don't hate the scalper game because that's the new norm now. But
right.
Again, these collectors are batshit crazy. They're nuts.
It is amazing, and it's just like, really, you're doing this just to market, but my kid just wants one. It's like, come on, man, don't make me kill you.
Yeah, they need that 40% eBay up. You know what I mean? They really need it. I get it. No hate on the game. Yeah. But I will kill you in this aisle for my kid.
Oh, definitely.
But if you really want to feel good about yourself, you should just go online for 5 minutes and watch some of these like Pokemon. There's a guy on Instagram. It's called like Poke Streets or something. Dude, you want to feel good about yourself? Just watch some of those videos. These assholes are just out to lunch.
I just keep thinking so much of, I'm just staying away. When I get the grandkids and that, I'm just going to do what I can because I'm not going in the store.
Nope.
Nap. I know I will. And getting older like I am, man, I ain't got time to play.
No. Order it on Amazon. You don't even have to put on your pants. You'll be fine.
Exactly. So let's get back into wrestling. So, would you start getting into the business more? What made you decide you wanted to do a promotion?
So when I had met Tommy, I had met him when I worked for this other promotion. Him and I wrote the owner of the promotion. He had the basis for the card and everything like that, what he wanted to do. And then he had a bunch of other stuff going on. And pretty much Tommy and I wrote like the storylines and everything that was going on and X, Y, and Z. And then it kind of just, his friendship and mine kind of just grew over some time. We had multiple conversations. We were talking about his past experiences, and he was always asking me like what I liked about wrestling and what I would like to see, because again, the name Mark comes up a lot. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the marks are what drives wrestling. It really is. I mean, we marks, and I say marks, we are the ones that give these people like cheering them on. And Hulk Hogan wouldn't have been Hulk Hogan without a bunch of screaming Hulkamaniacs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's so I like working with Tommy because he's got the wrestling mind. I have the mind of what I would love to see, what I would love to watch, what I would love to experience. If I was the one sitting back in the front row as a 6-year-old kid, what I would love to see. So I write our storylines with Tommy as a fan, as well as a business person. I mean, it's got to make sense, obviously. Like, you can't have like crazy shit that just doesn't make sense, which is why we have the promotion that we have. We're a very old school mentality. We still have a lot of the smaller guys involved and stuff like that, but it is super strong pro for a reason. It's who we feel is like not necessarily the underdog, but the underappreciated. And Tommy put it this way: the at this moment in time, and it goes for a lot of the other promotion. It goes for like AEW and WWE and Ring of Honor. A lot of the stuff that we've seen, it's all the same, and it's nothing against the athleticism that these guys have, because they are amazing, phenomenal athletes. But if every match is a guy doing like 8 450 splashes, like why? It just doesn't make sense. And then you have these little guys, again, nothing against them, but they're kicking the shit out of like 300-400 pound dudes. And it just doesn't make sense. Like I love Rey Mysterio. I've always loved Rey Mysterio. I remember watching ECW, Rey Mysterio's first match against Psychosis. I remember it. I mean, I remember sitting there on my dad's bed, just like, again, I love it. Love wrestling. But nobody would ever, ever, ever believe that he would really go out there and beat Paul White. No one. You would have to shoot Big Show in the face. You'd have to hit him with a goddamn tranquilizer dart. You know what I mean? Like some of that stuff doesn't make sense. And it's for entertainment purposes. I understand. But what we want to do is we want to bring that old school mentality, storylines that make sense, stuff that's pertinent. And that's kind of where we've been at this point. And that's why I love working with my partner. He has a great grasp on what a lot of these guys like and want. We've listened to a lot of what they've said and asked for. Everybody that we've utilized on our shows, we've had multiple conversations with, talked to, built respect for. I mean, Wrecking Ball Legursky from the NWA. I mean, from Billy Corgan's NWA. This dude is all over the place.
Yes,
I had a conversation with him like 3 days ago. Like one of the nicest dudes in the world, just shooting the shit and talking. Like, hey, what do you think about this storyline? Oh, I kind of like this idea. Oh, cool. All right, awesome. You know, we want the people that work with us, and I don't say for us, I say work with us because that's how I feel. We want you to be happy with your character, what you want to have happen. You know, what a lot of these guys go through is they have to sit back and they have to wait for their story, their story. Oh, this promoter is going to tell me that I want to do this. So this promoter is going to make me this character. Like I love that story that Dustin Rhodes tells where Vince tried to literally screw him out of the business, was like, all right, I'm going to make you the most off the wall metrosexual character that we could possibly come up with. And he's like, all right, Vince, you want to do that? I'll raise you that. I'll raise you and I'll see you skin tight leather and Luna Vachon.
Yeah.
And then you had Gold Dust,
And it's funny that we're talking about this because I just got through talking to a gentleman, a promoter in the UK, and we were talking about how wrestlers don't want to listen. They're super protective of their character, so much so that they don't understand that, hey, this is a job and you can do certain things, and maybe the promoter will listen, but you have to be willing to do what the promoter is asking because there's certain things that he's trying to accomplish.
Of course.
And it's like you have to be fluent, be able to sometimes go out of your character to learn how to make your character bigger, to be able to flex, like we were talking about. Independent wrestling is something I really love because you can go so many different places and learn to build on your character. You get a chance to learn something that maybe you wouldn't have learned where you started at. Maybe you're the biggest indie guy in Tennessee, but you ain't shit in New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay, bring that mentality up to Philadelphia, see how that works out for you.
Exactly. So when you go up there, you have to learn to, okay, this is not my crowd. Let me listen. Let me learn to be different, but be the same.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that, for me, I love about wrestling today.
Yeah.
Because it has that old school territorial feel, but we can all, hey, I can sit here in Tennessee and watch something over in Japan, over in California. If that's my style of wrestling, I can find it. It's so great now where you can promote yourself, get yourself seen, and learn so much. It's a smorgasbord of wrestling that you have no excuse not to learn.
Of course. And you know what? I love the fact that the indie promoters are really the territories. That's kind of where we're at this point. I mean, you made a great point. You made a great point about, some of these people and protecting, their personalities and their, I like to think of it as a brand because let's be real, they're independent contractors. They are their own brand. You know what I mean? And they should do whatever they possibly can to protect their brand. And in the same vein, like you also made, which is a great point as well, as long as it doesn't interfere with my brand and what I'm trying to do, I don't care. Do your thing. Be your character. Be you. I want you to be the best you humanly possible. I'm going to give you my idea, what I want to have happen. Here's your match. Here's who's going to win. Other than that, I don't give a shit. Do your thing. As long as you're not, impeding on what I have to do, be you, because you guys are the ones that deserve to be seen. You guys are the ones that steer my ship. You know what I mean? It's not me. I give you a direction. I give you a roadmap. You guys are the ones that perform it, and perfectly. We've had amazing matches in the very short time we've been around. We come up with the storylines, and I tell all of our people. I've had several conversations with a lot of our people. One of my best buddies, his name is Josh. I love the guy to death. I did a show with him, I want to say 5 or 6 months ago, and we were just starting the thought process of forming Super Strong Pro, and we wanted him to be one of our main guys, and he is. So I did the show with him, and he comes to me and he goes, I need to ask your opinion on something. The promoter wanted him to do a battle royal. Now, Josh is a goddamn monster. Like, absolute monster. I mean, big. He was the biggest guy there, and like, it wasn't even close for the next guy. And they wanted him to take a bath. They wanted him to be like the second guy out. He's like, what do you think? I'm like, are you winning? He goes, no. I'm like, are you like the second to last guy out? He goes, no. I'm like, is it going to take like 5 or 6 dudes to toss your big ass out? He goes, no. I'm like, then definitely not. I'm like, definitely don't do that. I'm like, you are marketing yourself as this immovable object, this unstoppable force. If you go in there and you take a bath to all these tiny dudes, that is going to hurt that brand. Then don't do that. Don't do that at all. Don't do that at all. And that's just me personally, because again, like I know that that's what the promoter wanted, but it needs to make sense, because at that point, the promoter's pretty much sacrificing some of his integrity by promoting this giant monster of a man, and then you have like some little dude throwing his ass out. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Yeah. And like you said, now if it's everybody teaming up to throw you out, that makes sense. Yeah. And it helps your storyline. It doesn't affect him at all, because hey, okay, I got thrown out, but it took 8 of them for me.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And I definitely understand that. One thing that I have so much of an issue doing this, guys, girls, you know what the QR code means. This will take you to all their different links. This is to their link tree, so you can follow them, and that's what you need to do, so you can get to experience them on the first-hand level.
Yeah, it takes you to our Facebook, our Instagram, my personal Facebook, my business partner's Facebook. It takes you to our Eventbrite, so you can order tickets for our events. It takes you to my Twitch channel, which I'm about to start my podcast up. It takes you to our YouTube channel where we're putting up content. It takes you to all sorts of stuff. Our Pro Wrestling Tees page with our merch. Tons of stuff.
So definitely do that right after the interview. Not now, after. But
no, pay attention to him. He's more important.
So now, what is the thing as a newly promoter that drives you batshit crazy?
Honestly, not even really as a promoter, because the people that I've dealt with as far as our promotion goes, and the wrestlers that we've had on our shows, they've been top notch. I mean, I can't really complain about anything like that. I think my biggest pet peeve so far is the way some people are treated in the wrestling business by other wrestlers, other workers, other people who just, it's one of those things where my business partner, very old school. But he respects damn near everybody unless you show him otherwise. He's the first guy when we were dealing with this other promoter, and we knew that there was shit going on and that there was going to be issues, but he wanted to stick around because he cared about the trainers that this guy had, and he cared about the younger crowd. He wants to make sure that when we are doing our shows that they have the best care in the back possible, that there's no issues going forward, that these people don't have to worry about getting paid. That's another huge issue I have with some of these promoters. I've watched tons of videos of some of these promoters up and down the East Coast, across the country. I watched a guy in Florida, like sitting in the back of an SUV after not paying a bunch of people and surrounded by like all these dudes. I would never be able to look at myself in the mirror if I went out of my way to screw over somebody. So when people come to our shows, the workers, before they even set foot in that ring, they meet with me and Tommy. Here's your match. Here's where you are on the card. Here's the winner. Here's your ref. Please sign here on the line that you got your envelope. Here's your pay. Have a nice day. We'll see you out there. So there is no confusion. Before the bell even rings, everybody's taken care of. I think, and that's my mentality about this whole business, is I want to, you run it like a business. You run it like a smart business. Why would I damage my integrity by promising things that I can't deliver on, or going out of my way to shit talk a bunch of people that I don't think are on my level? Like, again, my biggest pet peeve, I think, is just the mentality of some of these guys and girls. It's not great, because again, the people that perform for these promoters are the real artists. They're the real athletes. They deserve to be seen. They deserve to have their fair share. They deserve to get their fair pay. They deserve to be treated like they're human beings and decent individuals. I don't care if you've been in the wrestling for 50 years or 5 minutes. Treat them with respect. I've been in this business for 3 years and I've been called some nasty shit. I've had people drag my name. I've had people try to discredit me because I don't belong in the business. I haven't been around as long as everybody else. Just because I don't, I wasn't around in the 90s, just because I don't work as many wrestling shows as the next guy, that doesn't mean I don't belong here. If I do my thing and I take care of the people that I need to take care of, and I do it the right way, and I treat everybody with the proper respect, I feel like I deserve that respect back. You know what I mean? And the problem is over the last few years, that has been my biggest issue, is dealing with people thinking that they're here and I'm down here.
Right.
I don't care if you've been a toy collector for 5 minutes or 50 years. I would never treat you like you're an asshole because you think you know shit and you don't. That just doesn't make sense. Treat people with respect. It's not hard to be a decent human being.
Exactly. I've been blessed to be in this business for 3 years. And I still, to a certain extent, I never say I'm really in the business. I'm on the outside. I'm blessed. And if it is, I don't know about it, but any wrestler, promoter that I have ever met, they can't tell you I was not respectful, because I feel like you deserve that for what you've done for the business. Yeah. I'm not trying to come in to tell you anything unless you ask my opinion. Yeah. Then I would tell you that. But I it's a respect thing for me. And it's too many guys and girls who've busted their asses, put their bodies on the line, put their family life on the line just to entertain me. And I will not be disrespectful Unless, like you said, unless you are disrespectful to me,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that, because again, that's just not the way I'm raised. And again, I want respect, so I show respect.
Agreed. And you know what? So like when I do shows for other promoters and stuff, and I'm back there and I'm getting people's information to ring announce and everything, because that's what I do. I ring announce. So, you know, I talk to these guys and I'm just so even stoked to be involved and be there. Like I want to make the best impression. Like I've worked for various companies and I've never asked them for a goddamn thing in return. You know, it's just, I love doing this shit. I really do. I thoroughly enjoy being there. So when I have somebody that sits there and tries to like discount that or downplay me or, oh, who are you? What are you doing here? You're in charge of making us look good. Yeah, well, no shit. I'm going to make you look as good as I possibly can, but I know my worth too. I'm here just like you are. You know, I'm trying to bust my ass to make your product better. Don't make me feel like I'm beneath you because you've been in the business for 500 years. You know, I don't care if your name is Ric Flair. You're not going to fucking, you know, treat me like I'm an asshole. And definitely, you're not going to, I don't never let anybody run their mouths to my face like that, ever. I had one guy say a bunch of shit to my face. And the only reason I didn't blast him back is because my daughter was there. I'm just like, dude, I don't know why you think because you're this guy that you think you can talk to me this way. You're in a indie venue in New Jersey. Like you're not in Madison Square Garden right now, bro. You're not the Undertaker, and I don't have to worry about you choke slamming through the fucking floor. You're some indie asshole in a venue in New Jersey, you know?
You're right.
And again, it's no disrespect to indie people. It's no disrespect to the business at all. Exactly. But again, treat people with respect, because it doesn't matter if they're in the business or they're a fan. They're there to see you. They're there to work with you. They're there to support you. That's why I never understood why the huge disrespect for fans and marks. The marks are what made the people what they are.
And being able to feed your family and have a lifestyle that supports your family.
The marks buy your merch.
Man. And for me too, I'm always look at wrestling different. Some things I do, I know other people wouldn't do and don't understand why. Like a lot of times I go to a lot of indie shows and I will close my eyes and just listen. And if I can't tell by having my eyes closed and listening, if I can't tell where I am, to me, that is like your crowd is hot. If I think I'm in a 20,000 arena and the crowds are going ballistic, I'm like, your show is hot. You're doing the right thing. You're putting on the great performance.
Yes.
And I love that. I love when I go to an indie show that I've gone to several times. I love if I hadn't been there a few times, people coming up, hey, how you doing, man? You okay? Hadn't seen you in a while. Just a little concerned. That makes you feel just like family. As I like to call it when I go to indie shows, man, I'm going to a family reunion.
Family reunion, yep. See, I love that, because like I go to some of these indie shows and I see some guys that I've ring announced for, or I've just gone to support, and they come up like, "Oh, Eric, what's going on, man? What's going on?" I love the family feel. And I mean, you said it yourself, dude. Like you go to these events and you close your eyes and you can feel the energy. And I've been doing shows for a long time. I've been doing bands and comedians, and I've just been putting on crazy events. And I've told these guys for years, it doesn't matter if you're performing in front of 5 people in a room the size of a closet, or you're performing in front of a huge hall in front of thousands of people. You go out and you play it like you're in fucking Madison Square Garden, dude. Like you play that crowd. I was at an indie show a couple months ago and they had like 12 people there. But it was an awesome show because the 12 people were having a fucking blast. But if you go out there and you don't believe in the product you're putting on, and you could tell some of the guys, and they're fewer and far between, because again, nothing but the utmost respect. 99.9% of these people go out there and they are just, my buddy Johnny put it as that after-match high. And you can tell that high, and you can tell when they hit the ring that they get that adrenaline. But on occasion, you see that person who just doesn't sell, or he doesn't play to the crowd, or just doesn't give a shit. If you don't care, I don't care about you. I'm never going to care about you, because if you don't believe, why should I?
Yes. I last year got a chance to be involved in the show, and I've heard many a times of tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And again, when you never get a chance to do something, you think but until you get that feeling yourself, when I came out the curtains, everything, I couldn't see anything. I just saw a little tunnel of where I had to walk. And I didn't hear my music. I didn't hear anything. And it's just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Right.
And on top of that, my first time being in a ring during a performance, it was an all cage match show. So on top of that, I'm going.
So you're locked in. That's awesome.
Ooh, I got in there.
Chills.
Man. Now I have a bad back. I have
yet to do a cage or a cell match yet. That's my dude, I can't even imagine. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I can just imagine the chills. I can continue.
Yes.
I got chills thinking about it.
Man, and I have back surgery. I've had my hips replaced. None of that was there. I'm jumping up, throwing my hands. I'm hyping.
Nice.
And I knew the people could feel the energy I had. And it was like, this is what these guys been telling me all these years. Oh my God, I understand why they get hooked on this.
That's so good. You get back to the dressing room, you're like, oh my God, I need a backiotomy.
And see, look, I was so deep into it, I wouldn't even go back I didn't go into the dressing room. I stayed at the gorilla position.
Oh, that's so good.
When I got done, I went to our merch table.
Oh, awesome.
Again, it was just that respect, like, thank you, but I don't feel like I've earned that right to come to the back.
Yeah.
But the owner, he did something for me that just blew my mind away. After the show, and we were about to pack up, he came, walked over, he grabbed this. He said, he threw it at me. He said, sign that. I said, okay. He said, yeah, you're going in my Hall of Fame.
That's so cool, man. That's awesome.
He has a home where he has everybody that he's gotten autographs from. He made his Hall of Fame. He said, I was going in it.
That's
man,
so awesome.
Just to hear that, it's like, man, you do not know what you have done for me.
Yeah, it gives you something, dude. I had a similar, like I worked for a promotion in Mount Holly, New Jersey. Amazing promotion. Definitely check them out. Pro Wrestling Star Academy, owned by Johnny Cashmere and Anthony Ferris, Mitch Stein, Action Pack Pro, and SPO. They're all the same company. Well, they're not the same company, but they're all affiliated. And then they also have Lineage Wrestling, which is formerly the Monster Factory, in that building as well. I was working just shameless little plug for them. I was working this event, and it was one of the first events I worked. And there was a worker there, amazing guy, one of their old trainers. He's been there with them since the beginning, a kid legend. And I thought his stuff was great. I loved watching his match and everything like that. And I'm shooting the shit with him and his wife and his kid. And then, I think like 2 or 3 weeks after this event, he hits me up on Facebook and he's like, "Yo, bro, I just want you to know that I used to wrestle with my son every Saturday. And now he wants, me or somebody else to be a ring announcer. He wants them to be Eric Stevens." I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really fun compliment. It was just cool to hear that I had a fan, you know what I mean? And then I found out that I also have, I did a show for a promotion down in Florida, found out I have a fan base in Florida. Again, Mark, whatever. I'm a fan. Who gives a shit? But you know what?
Man.
That's cool. That's cool for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's that it makes it all worth it. I don't want to make $1 million. I don't want to be the greatest promotion in the world, but having people like what I do and appreciate what I do makes it all worth it for me, man.
Hey, same here. As I go to certain shows, I see the same fan, and every time he sees me, Professor Brown, what's going on? And it's amazing that people follow you and want to hear your opinions on things.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow. I doing a podcast. It was a UK promoter. No, it was a UK guy, and me and him were talking, and he was like, "Man, yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I do your podcast. I listen to you all the time." I'm like, "What?
Right?
What do you mean you listen to me?"
Yeah, dude, it's a great compliment, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're in the UK. What the hell? Wow. And then, like you said, just certain people can say certain things to you, and it blows you away and make you more appreciative. Not that you didn't even think you could get more appreciative than you are for the sport, and someone just says something simple, and you're like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, some of these people will never cease to I get hit up by some of the guys and girls, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think I should do for this? Do you think this is a good idea?" Like, just the fact that I have people that are in the business, that are living and breathing the business, that are taking the bumps and taking the hits, asking me how I think about something or what I think about something or should I do this? Like my boy Josh hitting me up and asking me if he should do that battle royal. Like at that point, I wasn't in the business super long, and I'll be honest, I didn't even really know him that long. I'd only known him for a couple months at that point. But him asking me my opinion on what I thought and the fact that he valued it so much where he went up to the promoter was like, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." Like that just makes me feel good to know that I feel like I must be doing something right. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. You're leaving a mark on the business. And the one thing that goes through my mind every single time I do anything in wrestling is I'm blessed to be in this, and the old school mentality, leave the business better than you found it.
Yeah. As my partner would say, we are not trying to reinvent the wheel. We are just trying to help put it back together the best we can. And, that's why we feel like we need to treat everybody the way they deserve to be treated. And it's not hard to be nice. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Listen. I feel like you need to be open to new ideas and experiences, even if you're in that old school mentality, even if you're in the new school mentality. Because if you and I were working together, you might see something differently than I see it. You might see it from a different angle than I see it, which is why having the partners that I have is so great. I mean, I have other partners besides Tommy that, because again, I've never pretended to be a wrestling guy. I've never pretended to be in the wrestling business the way that a lot of these people are. Right. But I know business. I'm good with people. I'm good with, promotion and sales. I'm good on a microphone. And I like to think I have a relatively good head on my shoulders for this shit. So I'm excited, man. I'm just excited to roll out this new chapter in my life with great people that I've met, talked to awesome people, that I would not normally be talking to, like yourself.
Right. So I guess this is going to be the last question. Where do you want to see Super Strong Pro go as a business?
So we have a business model. Super Strong Pro is actually under the umbrella of a 501c3 nonprofit charity. So we've acquired several venues that we are going to be utilizing going forward, plus looking for our own venue. There's a much bigger picture than just the wrestling part of this business. Tommy is very big into mental health and recovery, as well as I am. We've both dealt with instances and family of abuse and substances and all this other stuff. He's got a background with corrections. There's so much that we are striving towards, where Super Strong Pro is going to feed a much larger picture. We want to give people a place to be able to come and perform, or come and watch and feel safe, and just a great place for people to go. So we have this business model where we're going to be doing up and down the East Coast. We have a couple venues that I'm looking at right now over in the West Coast. We want to give people a place that they could go watch amazing athletes, good storylines. We want to work with amazing people. We don't look at it as one company versus another. You know what I mean? We work with companies. We have like a shit ton of sponsors that we support and that support us. I work with another promotion down in Florida called Florida All-Star Wrestling. They're fantastic. You should definitely check them out as well. They got an event coming up soon. It's owned by a gentleman named The Real Drago, who is probably one of the most phenomenal independent wrestlers I've ever seen. I mean, this dude is a goddamn monster. And they're doing amazing things down in Florida. And they're going to be doing stuff up and down the East Coast as well. So we want to make Super Strong Pro a staple in the wrestling community. We want people to want to come work with us. We want people to, enjoy coming to watch our products. We want to be able to give to the charities that we are giving to. Because again, we're a 501c3. This event that we have coming up next weekend, February 15th, at the Bayville Elks, we are donating proceeds to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, as well as the Elks National Foundation.
Oh, wow.
We did a show recently where we donated money to the Girl Scouts of America. The Girl Scouts of America are going to be at our next show in February selling cookies, or next week selling cookies. We're doing shows in May for St. Jude's. We're doing stuff for cancer research funds. We want to be able to put on amazing, amazing shows for people where they can come have an amazing time for a great cause, and that they'll remember and tell everybody about. That's pretty much where I'm at this point. I know that there is a much larger picture, and this is only I guess the Super Strong prequel.
Like
Super Strong will return for Avengers 2.
Love that.
You know what I mean?
Funny enough, I had The Real Drago on my show in September.
Oh, he's the man.
He's such an amazing person.
Smart. He knows the business. He is very intelligent, and the product that they are putting on down south, I mean, they're booking like crazy. They just announced, I think, 2 more people today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
As I like to tell people, as big as the world can seem, it's actually really small. It's amazing what the journey with wrestling has afforded me to meet some amazing people. And not again learning that it is worldwide. When I think I'm just a blip, I'm bigger than I
God, yeah.
can really imagine. And I love that for the fact of then that means I'm doing something right. I am doing something right, and I am making it that much easier for pro wrestling. And I
And
love it.
oh, dude, it's like you said, it's an amazing, amazing, amazing business. And the people that I've met, the fact that I've gotten to hang out with guys that I've watched for, I'll be 40 in July, that I've been watching since I was a kid. Like the fact that I have phone conversations with Pitbull Gary Wolf, who I've been a huge fan of since I was a kid. I mean, the Pitbulls were like the greatest tag team in the world to me. You know what I mean? And the fact that I found out when the first time I ever picked Gary up, I picked him up from the airport for a show that we were doing together. And we went out to one of his favorite restaurants, Little Nick's. And we were talking to one of the owners, and they were talking about this story, and they were talking about, old school stuff. And I think they started talking about, I kind of like came in the middle of the conversation. Like I was listening, and then they said something about strippers. And I was like, oh, okay, strippers. Okay, let's go. So he starts talking about this stripper from the Bristol area, the Bristol, Pennsylvania area. And then my head starts doing that dog thing that I brought up earlier. And he starts talking about her and how like she was amazing and this, that, and the other. And they start talking. And they got into some details that I don't think I needed to know. And then I was like, hey, question. What was her name? And he says her name. And I'm like, oh, cool. Well, that's my aunt. So the fact that we have what I like to call Jewish geography, it's almost like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon type of deal.
Right.
With Gary Wolf just makes it all the so it's funny. Me and my better half, we joke around. It's Uncle Gary. But like the fact that I would have never known that had I not been involved with the wrestling business, getting to work with people like Gary and Bill Alfonso, who's one of the greatest people in the fucking world, and my business partner. I mean, I talk to him multiple times a day, every day, and I don't know what I would do with myself at this point where I am in life if I didn't have that. You know, not only is he my business partner, but he's my friend, and great conversations. I'm just very, very grateful for the wrestling business for providing me with, I think, like you said earlier, it's a family. And I'm grateful for that.
I definitely understand and feel the same way. It's like you said, when you're getting to meet someone that you used to watch on TV, and you have their phone number that you can legitimately call them and just carry a conversation. Nothing like, hey, I was just thinking about your brother, how you doing? And y'all just have a conversation, and the little kid inside of me like, oh God, you're talking to
yeah. It was funny. My better half was breaking my. So Gary, I had a conversation with Gary like a week and a half ago, and he called me, and I couldn't talk. We were doing something. I was like I think I was putting the baby down for bed or something. And I was like, Gary, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. And I fucked up. I didn't say goodbye, and I just hung up. And my girl goes, she goes, did you just hang up on Uncle Gary? Like the fact that I hung up on Gary Wolf. You know what I mean? Like it was just funny to me, dude. Like, and I would, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would have been like, you're fucking crazy. I don't have Gary Wolf's number in my phone.
Right.
You know, I don't have Tommy Cairo's number in my phone. I don't have friggin' Bill Alfonso. And again, yeah, maybe I'm marking out, but I've met some amazing people, and I'm very grateful to be able to call some of them my friends. You know?
Definitely. Well, I want to thank you for not only being a part of my show and giving us a nice insight of what it's like to be a promoter, but I want to thank you for everything you are doing for the wrestling business. I am a big believer in giving people flowers because I feel like a lot of times people do so much and they really don't get to hear what we really think of them. We always wait until it's too late when they can't hear it, they're gone.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer in giving those flowers. And I want to again thank you not just for what you're doing in the wrestling business, not just for your fans, not just for mine, and not just for me, from everybody. You help keep the sport we love alive, and you're elevating that. And I just really thank you so much and hope for all the success that you want. And again, just thank you.
Well, no. So thank you for, first off and foremost, thank you for having me, and thank you for, I guess, thanking me for something that doesn't really need to be thanked, because bro, I'm just a dude, you know what I mean? I'm not one of these wrestlers. I'm not the guy putting my body on the line. I'm a fan who loves wrestling, who has amazing people by his side, and I want to do cool shit for awesome people, and I want to give back to my community. I want to give, I guess, myself and other people like you, the fans, people, you know, a place to be able to call home and watch awesome shit. And, you know, I want to see some of you guys rocking our Super Strong Pro shirts and talking about our matches, and having, you know, I want to come back on your show in a couple months or whenever and shoot the shit and give you an update on how things are, you know. But it's, again, I'm just a dude who is having an awesome time doing something that I thoroughly love, that I think I'm at least half decent at, but I don't pretend that I'm the best, and I will always need to learn new things, and I will always be taught stuff by the people who have been doing it for the time they've been doing it. And even some of these new guys, I mean, some of these new guys coming in are smart as shit. I've been talking with this kid, Sam, and he, just listening to him talk, and I know he hasn't been doing it for super long, but he's smart as shit, and he knows the business, and he knows like the psychology of it, and he knows how to deal with people. And it's always nice to learn something new every day. It's every day I learn something new from one of these guys or my partner, and being able to have some of these guys come to me and me be able to shed some light on my experiences and help them in certain ways, or even having them just say, "Hey, Eric, you know, I just wanted to hit you up and see how you're doing." "Oh, hey, bro, how are you?" "I'm great. How you enjoying the weather?" "Oh, no, it sucks. It's cold as shit." It's just, you can do this. You know, Joe Schmo can do this, as long as they do it the right way, and they do it with the right people, and they have the right intentions. And if you're gonna wrestle, train, do it the right way. Don't, you're not going to see me taking crazy bumps in the ring. You might see like a wrestler grip me up or something like that to enhance a storyline, but you're not going to see me getting power bombed off of a fucking scaffolding. Right. You know what I mean? You're not going to see me taking a choke slam. Do it the right way. That's and just have fun. You know, be you. Don't try to be the next Mick Foley or the next Joey Styles or the next Gary Wolf or the next Tommy Cairo. Be the first Professor Bear. Be the first heavy metal rabbi Eric Stevens.
Exactly. And yes, I don't have to thank you, but I need to thank you for the simple fact, and this is something that it took me a minute to learn and be okay with. As good as we watch wrestling, as much as we enjoy it, there are people who are now just coming up to learn what we know, and we're giving that info and that knowledge to them. So yes, we have to be thankful and give compliments where they're due. Again, again, I got put into a wrestling hall of fame. I was shocked.
Cool, right?
I met, you know how long me and my buddy argued about it? He was like, "You're going." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm not. I dare not try to take a spot from a girl or guy who's did put their body on the line." He's like, "Fool, you don't know what you do you?" And
You did something. You made an impression on somebody. You did it the right way. You were a decent human being about it. You weren't a sketchy piece of shit to talk down to the next person. Clearly, somebody wanted you. So you know what? Know your worth, baby.
yeah, and that's it. And what got me to say okay was he told me if I said no, he was coming to my house and put me in a headlock. And I was like, okay, I'm done. You win. But again, it is just an amazing thing. And again, I love, like you said, learning and hearing things. I love learning a different journey.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. That's why I do this so much like I do.
Yeah. And I think that that's kind of what a lot of these people should just realize. Like, no matter how much you've worked this business, how much you think you know, how good you think you are, how long you've done it, it doesn't matter if you've been in it for 5 minutes or 50 years. You can always learn something new. You can always open your mind up to new ideas and horizons, as long as you're not sacrificing your brand and your integrity in any way, obviously. But you should still be open, and you should still be open to learning new things. Don't scoff at it. Don't look at it as somebody's trying to put you down for what you don't know. They just want to make you a better you. I think I had to tone my partner down a little bit, because like when he would give people advice, he came off, because he's got that old school mentality, he came off like he was being a dick, and he's not. Right. He respects you. He loves the business. He's been doing it for fucking ever. He would never sacrifice its integrity for anything. So when he gives people advice and he tries to teach people, it comes off maybe a little rough around the edges, but it's from a great place, and I am very grateful to having him as a partner, because again, I learn something new every day. He always gives me a new kind of like different view on things, and I try to do the same for him. He's got that old school mentality. So coming at it from a new, fresh set of eyes, he's like, "Oh, I never thought about it that way." That's why we work so well together.
Yes, I love hearing that. Again, man, thank you so much. And we would definitely have you back. And
perfect. Thank you so much. May I promote the show on Sunday? Is that cool?
Promote everything you want.
Hell yeah, bro. If you can do me a solid out there in radio podcast, Bear Society land, check us out, Super Strong Pro Heavyweight Wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, all social media. If you're in the Jersey, Philly, tri-state area, if you're in a couple hours or whatever the case may be, and you have nothing to do next Sunday, come out to the Bayville Elks on Route 9. Bell time is 5 p.m. It's going to be an awesome show. We're going to be crowning our first ever Super Strong Pro women's champion. There's an 8-woman tournament. There's also a really great tag match between two phenomenal teams, the Monster Factory, aka Lineage Wrestling's the Body Snatchers, and the very enigmatic Streamline. And then we also have our semi-final match in the Ironclad Invitational for the heavyweight champion, Rage versus Alvin Alvarez, the ECW King. Please come out. It's going to be a great time. Also, the Girl Scouts of America will be there. It's for St. Jude's as well as the Elks National Fund. We're going to be inducting 2 young ladies into the Women's Wrestling Hall of Fame. Also, 2 young ladies are going to be getting some awards, the Spirit Award and the Lifetime Achievement Award. One, I believe the Spirit Award is the awesome Angel Metro, and the Lifetime Achievement Award is just the absolute badass deathmatch queen, Nikki Knuckles. So please come out and hang out with us. There's going to be a couple Wrestling Hall of Famers there hanging out, and it's going to be a good time. I'm very excited.
I'm so glad to hear it. And like he said, if you're in the area, don't miss out on such a great event.
Yep.
And like I always say before I end my show, please, I'm not going to stop beating this drum. Go and support your local indie wrestling.
Do it.
Man, I can't tell you how much fun you can have. It is definitely different than the bigger promotions, and that's not a bad thing.
No.
It is something that I think you bring your family to. It's going to have memories for them that's going to last a lifetime. So
and there's so many good ones that you can check out. If you're in Jersey, you have Titan, you have Wrestling and Recovery, you have us, you have Action Pack Pro, you have Pro Wrestling Star Academy, you have SPO. If you're in Florida, you got Florida All-State Wrestling, Florida All-Star Wrestling, All-State, Florida All-Star. So many.
Yeah, so there's no excuse you can find. Just get up and find.
Yep.
With that being said, guys, girls, thank you once again for joining me around the campfire with another amazing interview story that, again, as big of a wrestling fan that I am, I continue to grow and learn and enjoy hearing the stories. So with that being said, I am Professor Bear. This is a Bear's Thought, and we will see you around the campfire very, very soon. Y'all take care.